Yes, welcome again to the second part of this program. Let me apologize for that little bit of a technical problem we had earlier on. Just to go back, I have been speaking about the whole question of gambling addiction. And in the first part, I mentioned that gambling is, in fact, uh, a disease. It's a behavioral disorder. It's an illness like any other. And some of the symptoms, let me quickly describe some of the symptoms are preoccupational with gambling. Even when the person is not gambling, they are thinking about it. They are, for the playway punters, they analyzing their dream. And I want to say that, this takes a lot of valuable time when a person could be thinking about how to improve their life, how to get a better job, how to do a CV, how to make an application, how to change their surroundings, whatever. They are spending all of this time preoccupied with gambling. What mark to bet, what played, what they're following the charts, asking around, talking to other people. So a lot of time, good thinking time, is spent on analyzing and deciding what to bet. And then that the blood pressure goes up when you put the money in, whether there's always second guessing. I wonder if I did the right thing or I didn't do the right thing. And then there's a whole lot of blaming after the fact. If you did not win, you blame those around you who suggested you should have played this number or played that mark or whatever. You know, there's blaming, and then there's self-blaming as well, where you have to start lying to yourself so that you could be comfortable, and you would say, well, look, today was not my day. Somebody put bad mouth on me, or a cat crossed the road, or there was some bad sign that I did not recognize. So there's that preoccupation with gambling. And there's a whole question after the gamble, when we lose the money, there's that what is called chasing, where we are now increasing, throwing good money behind bad, trying to recover it. So we increase the bets in the hope that we will win back what we lost. And we go into what is like a vortex, a spiral. And this is accompanied by a certain amount of restlessness, anxiety, irritability. A lot of people become very impatient. And as a result, they have very short fuses. Sorry. And there's a tendency to become short-tempered with the people around us, with our siblings, our relatives. And there's a lot of people who, rather than take responsibility for their addiction, in this case, gambling, would rather blame others, that, you put bad mouth on me, or you did not support me, or, you always complaining. And it leads to a lot of uneasiness in the home. Then, of course, a lot of people, as I mentioned earlier, they use this as a form of escape, a preoccupation where they have other pressing problems, but rather than deal and engage with those, they use gambling as an escape, you know. And there are people who I know who literally banish themselves, they go missing for days because now the casinos, I understand, are giving to some customers free drinks, the free food. So you could literally, I don't know if they're allowing you to I know in Las Vegas, I've heard that you can get bed and breakfast in some places, you get to sleep there. And it also leads to other undesirable behavior, infidelity and all of that, because they choose people to staff these casinos. And I'm not casting aspersions here on the workforce in the casinos. I have to be very careful about that. But there are people who go to the casinos to literally pick up, to prostitute themselves. And they look around to see who's winning, who is walking away with a lot of cash, and that is a signal for them to literally target these people, for other reasons, for prostitution. So that, again, I have met people here who at first they keep all of these losses a secret. They keep borrowing from everyone. They use their job, they use their credit rating, they use their relationship, they use their influence to support this habit. And they keep sinking deeper and deeper into debt, and they are not letting the people around them. I know a wife whose husband was in an executive position, but because of his gambling, the house was mortgaged. And then she only realized it when they came to foreclose. The bailiffs were there emptying out the house. Then she realized what had happened. This could be very, very traumatic for not only the person who is addicted, but also for the family members. So that along with the gambling now, it is accompanied by lying. Because to cover up the gambling habit, a lot of spouses, a lot of family members or employers, I mean, I have someone that I know here personally who worked in a very responsible position in government, and in that position had access to the cash and ran the department into millions of dollars of fraudulent conversion, of taking the cash and literally supporting the gambling habit. The person lost the job eventually, and now is facing severe dire consequences. The matter is in court. I don't know if it is resolved, but the gambling, of course, puts relationship on the line. It jeopardizes relationships. It jeopardizes the job people are doing, and it also jeopardizes opportunities that they might have because of the gambling. They can't trust themselves. They can't be trusted to hold responsible positions. So I know we are coming up on time. We lost a little bit of time because of the technical problems we have, but this is a discussion I would like to continue. And those of you who are following, this program is going to be posted on Facebook and YouTube at the end. And I will continue this discussion next week. And if you have questions on this subject, you can call me at 671-3040, or you can text me at 768-5925. That is 768-5925. Or you can post your comments on Facebook and YouTube on my channel, and I'll be happy to respond to them. And if you need help with gambling as an addiction, you can call me, and there is hope. No matter how bad things have gone, you can pull yourself back from this. So at this point, I want to thank those of you who are listening, who are following on the various platforms and on the chat groups and so on. And to let you know, this conversation will continue next week, Thursday at 9 a.m., same time, same station. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good week.